In a world where wealth often builds invisible walls, sometimes the smallest moments break them down in the most unexpected ways. Imagine a billionaire father, a man used to control and perfection, watching his disabled son struggle to find confidence in a crowded room. But then, something happens, something that no amount of money can buy. A black waitress, full of warmth and kindness, steps in and gently lets the boy lead a dance step. It's a simple gesture, but for the father, it shakes the foundation of everything he thought he knew about strength, courage, and love. This isn't just a story about money or status, it's about human connection, empathy, and the surprising ways people can change when they open their hearts. The father's world begins to shift, and what starts as a quiet moment on a dance floor turns into a life-changing journey for all of them. But will he be able to let go of his pride? And what will this dance mean for his son's future? Stay with me as we uncover how one unexpected moment challenges a billionaire's view of family and what it truly means to lead with the heart. The next part will reveal a powerful transformation that no one saw coming. You won't want to miss what happens next. The billionaire father, Michael, was a man who had built his empire from the ground up. His life was filled with board meetings, expensive suits, and a constant pressure to succeed. But behind his sharp exterior was a deep worry for his son, Jamie, who was born with a disability that made simple things like walking and talking harder than most kids his age. Michael loved Jamie more than anything, but sometimes his high expectations and busy life created a distance between them. Jamie was shy and often felt out of place in his father's fast-moving world. Social gatherings were tough for him, full of strangers and loud noises that overwhelmed his senses. That's why Michael had been hesitant to bring him to the exclusive charity event that night. But Jamie insisted, and Michael reluctantly agreed, hoping it would help his son open up. The black waitress Maya was new to the upscale restaurant where the event was held. She was used to long shifts and tough customers, but she carried herself with a calm confidence that caught Michael's attention. When she noticed Jamie sitting alone, hesitant to join the others, she made a quiet decision. Instead of rushing to serve drinks or take orders, she offered Jamie something much more valuable: her time and patience. As the music started, Maya gently encouraged Jamie to try a simple dance step. What happened next surprised everyone in the room, but Michael's mind was racing with questions. Could this moment really change everything he thought he knew about strength and family? The night was just beginning, and the real story was about to unfold. As the night went on, Michael couldn't shake the image of Maya and Jamie dancing together. It was more than just a moment of joy, it was a glimpse of something Michael had never fully understood: the power of patience and kindness. Yet, a part of him struggled with the discomfort of losing control. He was used to being the one who guided every step in his life, especially when it came to Jamie. Now, here was a stranger gently leading his son in a way he hadn't dared to try. Meanwhile, Maya was quietly navigating her own challenges. Working as a waitress in a high-end environment was far from easy. She faced subtle judgment, overlooked promotions, and the weight of a world that often underestimated her because of her skin color and background. But tonight, seeing Jamie's smile and the sparkle in his eyes reminded her why she kept pushing forward despite the odds. This small act of kindness was her way of showing that strength isn't about power or money, it's about heart. Back in the room, whispers began among the guests. Some admired the scene, while others questioned why a waitress was so involved. With the son of a billionaire, Michael's old friends eyed the interaction with suspicion, and the tension in the room grew. Would this moment of connection bring Michael closer to Jamie, or create an even wider gap? And what would happen when the world outside this room heard about this unlikely dance? The answers were still out of reach, and the night held its secrets, closed as the evening wore on. Michael found himself unable to focus on the conversations or the flashy displays of wealth around him. His mind kept drifting back to Maya and Jamie, the way the boy's face lit up when she let him lead, free from pressure or expectation. It was a side of Jamie Michael had rarely seen: pure, unfiltered joy. But with that joy came a growing unease. Could Michael really let go of his control? Could he accept that someone from a completely different world was teaching his son lessons he never could? Maya, sensing the weight of the moment, tried to stay calm, but inside she felt the sting of the unspoken judgment from some guests. She knew this encounter could change everything, not just for Jamie, but for her too. She wasn't just a waitress tonight. She was a symbol of hope, courage, and the unexpected bridges that could form between people who seemed worlds apart. The tension in the room thickened as Michael's close friends whispered doubts and skepticism. Some saw Maya's kindness as a threat to the polished image Michael had worked so hard to build. Others worried what this would mean for Jamie's future, tangled between privilege and vulnerability. Michael's heart pounded as he realized this night was no longer just about a dance. It was about choices, about breaking down walls or building them higher than ever before. And just as the music slowed and the room held its breath, Michael faced the moment that would force him to decide. Would he embrace this new path or retreat into the familiar? The answers were just beyond reach, hanging in the air like the final note of a song waiting to fall. Just when Michael thought the night couldn't become any more complicated, an unexpected voice cut through the tension. One of his closest advisors quietly pulled him aside and revealed a shocking piece of information. Maya wasn't just any waitress. She had a past that Michael never would have guessed. A past connected to a cause Michael had been quietly opposing for years. Suddenly, the simple act of kindness took on a new, more complicated meaning. Michael's mind raced. Was this a coincidence? Or something more? Could Maya's presence here be a deliberate challenge to everything he stood for? The stakes felt higher than ever now. The question wasn't only about Jamie's happiness or Michael's pride, but about trust and truth. What if this connection threatened to unravel not just his family, but the very empire he had built? Meanwhile, Maya felt the weight of her own secret pressing down on her. She had come to this job seeking a fresh start, a chance to build a better life for herself and those she cared about. But now, the past she thought she left behind was catching up hand, dragging Michael and Jamie into a storm neither of them expected. The room seemed to close in, the music fading into the background. As Michael and Maya stood on the edge of a turning point, with so much at risk, every choice mattered. Would this unexpected twist bring them together, or push them further apart? The answers were still hidden, and the night's story was far from over. Michael's heart pounded as he confronted Maya, the weight of the revelation heavy between them. But instead of anger or accusations, Maya looked him straight in the eyes and shared her truth, a story of resilience, sacrifice, and a quiet fight for justice that had shaped her life. She wasn't a threat. She was someone who believed in the same values Michael had long forgotten: compassion, courage, and the strength found in connection. As she spoke, Michael felt walls he'd built around himself start to crumble. He realized that his son Jamie's happiness wasn't about control or appearances, it was about love and acceptance. For the first time, Michael truly saw Maya not as an outsider, but as a bridge to a better future for his family. The guests, sensing the shift, grew silent, watching as Michael took a step that surprised everyone. He invited Maya to join their family dinner. It was a simple gesture, but one that marked a powerful change. Jamie's smile grew wider, and Michael felt a new kind of pride, one not tied to wealth or status, but to the courage it took to let go. Just as the evening seemed to find its peaceful close, Maya pulled Michael aside with one last surprise: letter she'd discovered, hidden in an old family heirloom, revealing a secret connection between their families that neither had expected. The night had changed everything, but it was far from over. The real story was only beginning. The letter Maya showed Michael told a story neither of them could have imagined, a shared history that tied their families together through struggles and triumphs long before either of them met. It was a reminder that connection isn't just about the moments we share today, but the roots we come from, the challenges we overcome, and the love that shapes us over time. In the days that followed, Michael began to change. He spent more time with Jamie, learning to listen instead of lead, to support instead of control. Maya's kindness and courage stayed with him, inspiring him to look beyond his own world and use his resources to create real change. Jamie blossomed, no longer held back by doubt or fear, but confident and free to be himself. The billionaire's life was no longer about power or prestige. It became a story of healing, acceptance, and hope. And Maya, she found a place where she was valued not just for her past or her struggles, but for who she was, a person who believed in the strength of kindness and the power of human connection. This story reminds us all that sometimes the most unexpected moments and people can change our lives.